Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. Yo, what's going on? At the time of this recording, episode 689, I think it would be, which was yesterday's show, has now been uploaded. And truthfully, here's why. So last night I recorded it. Also, this doesn't matter because for the in context of this entire show and the 20-year-long goal, like, this is not an important story to tell whatsoever. But whatever. Oh, there's the chair. But I didn't upload it because last night I was just tired of shit, didn't want to do it. And so I was going to do it today. So I sit down on my computer, I go to do it. And the goddamn Voice Memos thing on my phone has not, I guess, synced to my computer, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's syncing, it just hasn't backed up to the cloud. I don't know. And that little inconvenience, oh, I have the mic to my face, I don't need it. God damn, dude. And now my monitor's crooked. And there's the chair. Dude, great start. I don't even want to tell the first story anymore. It wasn't on my computer, so I didn't have any file to use. So without even spending a second more thinking about it, I said, oh, fuck this. And then I just moved on with my day. So I still have to upload it. So all that to say, it's still not on my computer. What the fuck? It's done this maybe 10 times in almost 700 episodes of doing it. Well, more than 700. Almost 700 days doing this. It's probably done it, I don't know, 10 times. But those 10 times are enough to make me never want to use voice memos again, you know? It's a bummer that Notion doesn't have any kind of voice. Oh, do they? I type in voice. AI meeting notes. Notion will summarize the notes in transcript. Start transcribing. Wow, so if I just talk like this, yo, what's going on? Hey, yo, I went to the store, bought some Skittles, landed at Walmart, not sure how I got here. All right, peace. If I click stop, I noticed you made a very brief recording where you mentioned going to the store, buying Skittles, landing at Walmart. This transcript is quite short, which is perfect if you're just testing this feature. For more comprehensive meeting notes, I'd recommend recording longer conversations or meetings. With longer recording, I could provide a more detailed summary, identify key decisions and action items, structure the information more effectively, enhance any notes you take during the recording. Feel free to try a longer recording when you have an actual meeting or conversation, like to summarize. Huh. What else can I do? Format is auto. Consent. Learn more. Give us feedback. Retry summary. You know what? I am actually going to... Wait, so delete. I'm actually going to do this. 100%. I'm going to do it for this episode and then see what happens. So, voice, AI voice meeting, start transcribing. Format is progress, blockers, action items. Sales call, team meeting. Neither of those. Consent message. I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes. Voice is Samantha.
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
I don't know if you guys can hear that because it's coming through my laptop.
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting.
I'm using Notion AI to
I'm using Notion AI to I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
Okay, so this one is called Zarvox. This has got to be the best one.
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
All right. What's this one, Nora?
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
Shit ain't even English, bro. This one's called Ting Ting? Is this not?
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
Ting Ting is not racist in this day and age?
I'm using Notion AI to transcribe this meeting and generate notes.
I didn't know that they could say, I don't know, maybe I'm just an asshole. Well, let's just start transcribing. Let's just see what happens. So, anyway, moving on from the intro, that is why the episode is not uploaded yet. I'm annoyed. So maybe we just made this work. And if this works, I'm down to just scrap the whole. I take that back. I'm not gonna scrap the whole thing. Truthfully, I just want to see how this works. I don't think this is going to be a replacement of the current process. But I guess maybe it could. I guess we'll see how it summarizes this. Because there's no prompt. There's no project that doesn't know how I want it formatted. What things that I want it to show. Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, so just I guess going to share some frustrations today. So I woke up and I honestly fell asleep. So hold on. I woke up to that alarm. I'm still using, it's called Unbed. You have to take your phone to a little block to turn it off. And there's a little loophole I found accidentally, and I keep on forgetting to turn it. Let me do it right now. I'm going to turn it off. So the loophole is the alarm goes off, and it won't stop making noise, and it won't stop vibrating. I can't turn the volume down. Can't do anything to shut it off, which is the point. I don't even want to try to, but that's the point of it. But I had an alarm, a normal alarm on my phone, just a normal clock app on my phone, and that alarm went off on top of the already going off alarm. And so when I turned off the second one that went off from my phone, it actually stopped the sound altogether. And I was like, well, that shouldn't happen. And so it was still vibrating, but I just put my phone on the bed, and it was still vibrating. It was less, but I was like, what if I just put it on the floor? Like, will it stop for a sec? And I did. I put it on the floor, and I couldn't hear shit. And I was like, very cool. So, good to know, I guess. I don't plan on taking advantage of that. That's not why I bought the thing. So I wake up, I come over here to my office, I turn the alarm off, and I realized the way I was telling that story made it seem like I fell asleep right there. But no, I came to my office, turned it off. Here's the kicker. So, sat down. I have a little air mattress in my office space, which I truthfully only have because this is where Lexi and I watch movies, because I don't have a couch. I don't have a TV. I don't have anything like that. I've never have ever in my life. Like my own physical possessions. I mean, obviously I've lived in my mom's house and she had that shit, but I've never had that stuff. I haven't talked about that in a while, but if you're a new listener, I've never owned my own TV, my own couch, my own nothing, ever. I have no furniture in my living room. I never have. Lived at 4 different places, and none of them have ever had any furniture ever. So there's that. But I have this air mattress in here because it's where Lexi and I can. So I have a dual monitor set up, and it's on a monitor stand that's on a flex arm. So what I do is I just flip the monitor around, and it just is in a great spot for us to watch. We've been watching Friends recently, and we've also been watching some random movies here and there. And so yeah, I wouldn't have this air mattress in here if it weren't for the date night, if you want to call it that, or just the whatever. Because I have my desk, my chair, and my bed. Those are the only places that we could sit down and look at a screen or whatever. Or we could just sit there on the floor. But that's the only things that I have. I literally have my bed. and I have this chair that I'm sitting in. That's the only furniture that I have. I mean, obviously I've got this desk, I've got a nightstand and a shelf and a whiteboard, but that's it. So don't think I'd have this air mattress in my office if I didn't, I don't think I'd have it in here if I wasn't with Lexi. I don't think that'd be a thing. That's an interesting thought. But anyway, we actually went and looked at the place today, the place that we bought, or that we are renting, and we were able to go inside and just kind of look around at everything without all the other person's stuff being there, because when we went and saw it the first time, the guy was moving out, so there was some stuff there. And it got me thinking about how I would make my office and where it would go and which room it would be in and all that stuff. And it just dawned on me that the voice cracks never stop, and that the air mattress probably it's probably going to be packed up and not used, so it wouldn't be in the office, which kind of makes me feel like the office would be almost, even though the actual room over there might be smaller than this room, I feel like the office will actually be bigger because I'm taking an air mattress out of it. And now it's only like 3 feet or 4 feet by, I don't know, 7 feet maybe. But, yeah, a little yawn there. What was I talking about before all that, though? Yeah, so I sat on the air mattress, and it's always a dangerous game because the alarm's off, and I'm sitting pretty much on a bed. Went from one bed to another bed. That's not the goal. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna set an alarm. I am gonna rest my eyes for 15 minutes, and I did. And then the alarm went off, and I was like, fuck it, dude. 15 more minutes. Turned it on again. Woke up. Same thing repeated until like 6 o'clock, and then I was like, all right, time to get up. So then I just kind of laid there, didn't set an alarm, didn't do anything like that. Next thing I know, I'm waking up, and the sun's up. It's 8:30, and I'm like, God damn it. So it is what it is. I don't know what it is. Why? I mean, I'm going to bed at 10, so 7.5 hours of sleep seems like plenty for me, but apparently my body's like, no, dude, you need 37 a night. So good luck. So I don't know. Body just needs some sleep, I guess. So that's how the day started. But I did say that I was going to start the show off with some frustrations. One of them being, woke up late, and that sucks. I hate that. Next thing being, hell yeah, dude, 12 minutes in, we got to one thing. The next thing is going to take 30 seconds to explain. Next thing is I finished everything for PT Dom. I finished the dashboards and everything that they needed, and everything is good to go. Finished it all. And that was that was yesterday. But I texted Britzy. I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's actually quite a long message. But I said, hey, all right, CLA is looking like it's finished. Probably we'll have to touch up a few things, but it's fully functional and ready to go. Here's what I did. And I gave off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I gave 18 bullet points, and some of these bullet points are just paragraphs of what I did. Everything top to bottom, what I did. Because it was urgent that it gets done by this weekend. Now, today's Monday, so I guess I mean last weekend, but I finished it this past weekend, and hiccups are back. Finished it this past weekend because they made it sound so urgent, and all I got today was this. Hey, with 4 E's. This all sounds great, in all caps. I didn't think you'd make anything for the live calls. Have you shared access to Marco? You'll have to show all this to Cole. That's all I got. And I said, yep, it's all in the main area Notion with the screenshot. And then I sent another screenshot of the dashboard. And then I said, also was going to ask you, I assume it's been busy, wondering the ETA of the pay this month. Because I haven't been paid yet. And the latest that I've been paid is the 7th with working for PT Dom. And it's now the 8th, and I still have been paid, which is not the end of the world, but just communicate with me, you know? Also, I did get paid from Mina today. It was a late payment. I don't know what's going on with the world. Sending me money late, all good. Grateful for any money, but yeah, I'm actually going to transfer that to my bank account before I forget. I'm going to do that right now. Is it an easy thing to transfer to my bank? How do you do that again? Apple Cash, sender request. Wait, how do you send money to your account again? To your bank? How do you do that? Is it this one? Transfer to bank. There we go. Oh, to bank. Send it right now. $8 fee. Transfer to debit card. Okay, there we go. Cha-ching. Now, for the time being, I've been putting stuff on a credit card just because I've had $37 in my account because I have had everything in my Venmo, and I've also paid a lot to the lease and all that shit. And so I've been waiting to get money on Venmo because I don't want to transfer it and pay a fee. I don't want to wait time either. So if I had all the money in Venmo, then I could just pay off all the shit. But I think I'm going to wait on that because we went to the place today. So this is a little side note. We went to the place today, and we went in there. It still hasn't been cleaned, which is fine. They're going to clean it. And there's also no washer and dryer. And so I was like, this is kind of, they have a week left because we are able to move in a week from today. And so I texted the guy. I said, hey, guy, when is this place going to be cleaned? And also, will there be a washer and dryer here by the time we move in? And he says, there's no washer and dryer, only hookups. And yes, it was already cleaned. And I said, are you talking about this, our unit? Because it's absolutely not clean. There's stains everywhere. There's scuffs. It's not clean. I promise that it's not been cleaned. And he said, the carpets will be professionally cleaned on Friday. That was his response. And me and Lexi quickly made a joke about it. So the joke now is, motherfucker tried to gaslight me into thinking that they already did it. And I said, no, you didn't. And then without him even acknowledging the first thing that he said, he then gave me another date of the time that the thing would be done. So it's like, she says, hey, did you bring the groceries in? And then I said, oh, I already brought them in. And then she says, no, you didn't. And I say, I'll bring the groceries in on Friday. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say. It's a ridiculous thing to say, and also just to not acknowledge the fact that you said it was cleaned. I said, no, it's not. And then you said, it will be cleaned Friday. It wasn't, it'll be cleaned Friday then. It wasn't, oh, my bad, it'll be cleaned Friday. It was just, it will be cleaned Friday. We're just not going to acknowledge the fact that you just fucking lied straight to my screen, So we go in there, yeah, it's great. We're very excited. It's not clean, And the whole washer and dryer thing, I guess that's a lesson learned. Probably should have read the lease a little bit better. It doesn't explicitly say that there will be a washer and dryer, but it does say that hookups are available. Where does it say? It says a washer and dryer may be provided free of charge, and the tenant responsibilities are blank, 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 practical implications, blah, 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 blah. And I said, so it doesn't say that they are provided. Now, this is all, I put the whole lease into ChatGPT without the sensitive info, and just I've been asking questions about it. Also Control F'd, and yeah, it says the lease does not guarantee that a washer and dryer are provided. The clause is written if applicable. So washer and dryer if applicable. And I don't know, I just feel like that is also, a way of saying that it is applicable because we went in there and we saw that it was there. The tenant understands the washer and dryer are provided free of charge. It just says if applicable, and I think that's where they got us. So yeah, lesson learned, make sure we read the fine print, I guess. It is what it is. The way that I look at it is we'll have to buy a washer and dryer regardless. It's not something that you can like just live without. It's definitely a necessity. So we're gonna buy one regardless. May as well buy it now, get it over with. That way, when we get a home in the near future, we already have that taken care of. So if I go and I type in washer and dryer combo. Wait, what? Okay, well, I already... Babe, figured some shit out. Okay, so there's a washer dryer combo, $600. It's black. This is just the first thing I Googled. What brand is it? What's the General Mills? Is that what it is? General Mills? That's the brand? Johnson & Johnson? What the fuck logo is that? Why am I thinking General Mills? What's General Mills logo? No, very close though. What's Johnson & Johnson logo? What the fuck logo is that? I've seen that before. It's on food. It doesn't have a... It doesn't have a name. Product details. There's too much pop-up horseshit going on the screen, dude. Oh. What's the product details, dude? GE. What's GE? GE Appliances. GE Appliances is not on food. What does GE Appliance stand for? General Electric. Dude, I swear this shit's like on chocolate milk mix. I swear. Is GE Appliance logo on chocolate? That's the first thing that popped up. Bro, I swear. The GE Appliance logo is not on chocolate. GE is known for home and kitchen appliances like refrigerators and ovens, not producing food products. It's this light blue logo. Oh my dude, I swear I've seen this on some Nesquik chocolate, dude. Some chocolate powder, I swear. Anyway, it looks like there's a bundle of a washer and dryer. Nope, it's advertised as two, but there's only one. So never mind. Love you, babe. We'll figure it out. But anyway, we have to buy a washer and dryer. And like I said, we have to buy one anyway. It's not like this is something that is screwing us over. It just is an expense we have to pay for sooner. But I'm just looking at the prices, and it's for both we're starting at $1,000 for sure, and that just sucks, dude. Because I don't want to spend any more money than I have to. But it's not like you just can't negotiate. Do we really need a washer and dryer? Like we're not gonna. Fuck do you think? You know, we could live without one. We'll use the sink. We got a washboard. You know, could use Lexi's tummy for a washboard. She's got abs. Yeah, so we're gonna have to get one of these. That's a bummer. And the guy, when he responded, he said, "Oh, it's not included. It's the hookups are though." It wasn't like a you fucking deceiving piece of. It was just like, oops, and then I just continued on with my thing. But we went in there. We took a tape measure. We measured a lot of the rooms just to see what the space was, and mainly for me for my desk, and that's pretty much it. But also. For the beds, and then Lexi wanted to measure for like the TV and some of her I guess nightstands in this, I don't want to call it an entertainment center, but living room, I don't know, the thing that you would put video games in, or gaming console, or store records, or put a plant on, whatever you would call that piece of furniture that you could put a TV on. I don't know what the fuck you call that, but that. So we went in there and measured everything. That's when we noticed the shit wasn't clean. And so, yeah, but we went in there. It was just, I'm stoked about this place. We did sign a lease until the end of May of 2027. Reason why is because that would be about the time frame that we would want to move out because of other things that would happen, aka Mr. and Mrs. Sessions. And so that's kind of the time frame that we're looking at. So that would just make sense, because I think we would like to, I think it goes without saying, but I love her so much and she's definitely the one. But, I think we both want it to be, the timeline to be, whatever happens, we would prefer to tie the knot and then start that chapter of life, not in the same house, but in a new place. Preferably, maybe a house. And we'll just deal with that when we get there. Either way, we would just prefer that it's a new place rather than, we wake up a week before, that's where, we're living at the same place, and then we get married, come home, it's still the same place. Nothing's changed. We just, her last name changed, and then on paper, that's what happened. So we'd rather, I think we would just rather a new chapter, top to bottom. So that's the idea. And that May timeframe of 2027 seems close. So, hey Siri, how many days away is May 31st, 2027?
It's 630 days until then.
Wow, so we're almost at the halfway point between when I started the show and getting married. Weird. So 630. Siri, what is 600? That's a dumb thing to. So it'd be 1320. So 630 plus 690. So 1320. We'll be on episode 1320, roughly, when your boy's a married man. That's insane. So yeah, episode 1320. 1320 will be 5/31/27. 9 and 9. You can get 2 9s out of the date of May 31st. 630 is also 9, so 999. It's Lexi's favorite number, but if you flip it upside down, 666. So, Grandma, what's up? We figured out how to get the devil out of marriage and success in the podcast. And anyway, that's just where my head goes. Also, how I got 9. So 5 plus 3 equals 8 plus 1, so 5 and 31. It's 9. 2 plus 7, that's the year. So 9. 9 plus 9. And then we have the... What was I just saying? 630 days until then. 6 plus 3 is 9. 0, 6, 9. 999. Upside down, 666. All right, anyway. That's just where my brain goes, dude. I just say that all the time, and I make such a funny big deal about it because that's what goes, that is really what I think about all the time. We were watching Friends today, and it was episode 23 of season 1, the door number on the hospital of that random lady that Joey walked in on when he saw her, I guess, boyfriend or husband or whatever, I don't know, the father of the kid. That door number was 212. That's just in my head, and it's going to be there for a while. Why do I remember that stuff? I don't know. It just clicks for me. So anyway, so back to the other story. I finished all this shit for PT Dom. I send it off. It's all good to go. Yesterday was a shit day because I was just trying so hard to get this done, and I got it done. And I finished it. And I said, hey, hell yeah, it's all done. They said, great. And I don't need a big, grandiose response. But I think that's just a pet peeve of mine. I've noticed that happening more often with working with some high performers. They want things done ASAP. And I can get behind that. But then I get it done ASAP. And it's not even being used. Some of the shit that I've made for Dawson has yet to be used yet. Why'd you have me make it then? Oh shit, I switched team spaces and it says my meeting has stopped the recording. And we'll go back to that in a sec. So I got some notifications saying that somebody from Dawson's team was commenting on some people in the extension follow-ups log. And people aren't using this correctly, dude. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They send start. See, I want to know. I'm clueless. What the fuck did they even... What are they looking at? They just commented on the wrong shit. I don't understand. Day since start. Open discussion. Did not extend. Comfortable moving on her own. So mark it off. Extending 24 weeks deposit due in October. Dude, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm making all this shit. And I have a video. I have instructions. Like, there's a big red and yellow button that says help. And then there's a 90-second video on how to use it. And there's a 4-step instructions. It says, number 1, clients on these lists are at the title, mark of the program. So the 4-week mark, 12-week mark, 20-week mark. Step 2, follow up with them in real life. Step 3, come back here, add notes if needed, then click the follow up button. Step 4, done. I don't get it, dude. Like, follow up. Like, you click a button. So the frustration, I guess, or what I was going to say was, I just don't care. They can use it however they want. It's not my job to enforce their workflows to be... I made it. I designed it to work perfectly. If they don't want to do it, that's on them. I just got to stay focused on my shit to build. And, you know... Like, I have a fucking video that explains how to do it. You can't. It's 90 seconds. All right, what's going on? This is the extension follow-up tracker, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's the same exact shit that I'm looking at now. There's nothing that's... So anyway, I got the notifications today that, you know, so-and-so... Let's put them on blast, dude. Rayanne put comments... I don't know, dude. Did you not watch the video? All good. You didn't watch it, though. All good, but you didn't. Anyway, so that's that. So I think what I was trying to get at there is just, I don't give a fuck if they use it the way that I built it. As long as I can keep on working and building shit and I keep getting paid, then hell yes. They are using other things the way that they need to be used, which is good. Some of these clients don't have names. How do you forget to put in somebody's name? I don't get it. How's the onboarding doing? Nobody's even following an onboarding. Nobody's using... I don't get it. How's the check-ins doing? Is anybody using check-ins? Nobody. Nobody's using check-ins. Is anybody renewed yet? Let's do the renewal history. Nobody's renewed once. People definitely have renewed. I've gotten messages, so people aren't using it. Okay? So, again, it's fine. It's just annoying. It's like... I just struggle, man, because it's like I spelled it out. I did all the heavy lifting. I made it as easy as possible to follow. I made a video explaining how to use shit, and you're just not using it. correctly at all. Oh, good. It's fine. It's just frustrating for me. So I just have, if it's anything that I've learned, I think with all of this is that I can have my ideas and I can have my theories and beliefs and vision and goals, but I'm selling a product, and the market's going to tell me what it wants, and it's up to me to listen. So I've asked Trey and Amina and Dawson. I haven't got a response from Dawson yet, but I pretty much asked them, hey, would you want 365 data points a year, or would you only want 12 or even 52? And I asked it a very, I guess, inclusively, if that's the right word, about everything that all of this would entail, so they know everything that they would get with the weekly reports or the daily reports or whatever. And Trey said weekly reports with monthly recaps, whatever, which is the same shit. Mina said the same thing, and I was like, I'm just curious, why not daily? Like, wouldn't you rather have more data? So I don't know, because the idea was to price it accordingly so that the daily seems cheap, because there's no extra sweat for me. It's not harder for me to do anything. It's just, but I would provide more value, more reports, more data available to them, which is of greater value to the business owner. So I figure I could charge more for that, but because I charge more, the other ones, because you'd have the price anchor, so therefore the other ones would look fine. So I could put the daily at like $1,500 a month, and now knowing that people don't want that, I could price everything else. I could probably price the monthly, or I could probably price the weekly at 1,000, and then price the monthly at maybe like $750. I don't know. Doesn't really matter right now. But I could do that. And because it's price anchored at $1,500 a month, it's like, holy fuck, that's that much a month, blah, blah, blah. And then they go see the weekly and or the monthly and the whatever. Weekly, not daily. And they're like, oh yeah, it's much better. So I don't know. So the other thing that I talked about, I think I talked about this last night, but I sent a message to Lexi last night. And what I said, let me find it. I said, scrolling. Okay, right here. I said, I think I'm going to tell Pete Dom I'm going to be done at the end of this month and that I'll work until then. But come October, I'm outie. On paper, I work 20 to 24 hours a week for them. And I also don't make a ton of money due to the negative $500 per month. So I guess it's helpful that I don't owe $500, but I don't know. I think it's time. Any money I make from them, I consider extra or bonus. I don't even factor in, I didn't say this, but I don't even factor in money that I make from them. Like, it's not part of the budget. Like, if I get paid, it's just extra. I don't anticipate or expect or plan for or whatever. So financially, I don't work for them, but on paper I do, and it's 20 hours a week. So almost 24 hours max a week. So max almost 90 hours a month with the average, I guess. I guess on paper it would be almost 100, 24 hours a week. But anyway, then I said, so I think what I'm going to do is tell them now and give them a month notice, work $1,000 worth of hours, be debt free with PT Dom, peace out, and then get back to those hours for my own stuff. And I'm pretty sure I talked about that last night, but I guess you wouldn't know because you haven't heard it yet. But if this is in the future, then yeah, you would. But yeah, because on my calendar, I've got 4 hours, 10. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, I guess I have less hours now. So 14. No, I have 20. I have 20 hours on the dot. And so that's all of Wednesday. Pretty much Sunday. And then the evening of Friday. So if I were to remove that, this is interesting because so if I were to remove PT Dom, so that frees up quite a bit. If I were to remove PT Dom, I could move things around quite a bit and almost work on my own shit. Let me think about this. I could, if I were to move those, I could almost work on my own stuff from 5 in the morning until noon every day, and then move everything to after my midday break. So that way I end the day working for everybody else, but I spend the freshest, most exciting, earliest time of the day working on my own stuff. I don't know, it's not the concern, but that would free up a shitload of time for me. So I don't know, because I don't plan for or budget for any of the money that I get from them, but I do budget the time that it takes to work for them. And I've said it before, but everything that I build for them, I can't really use for my own stuff. And it's funny because they said that from the start, because that was my concern. I was like, I don't want you guys to claim ownership over the shit that I build in Notion. And they pretty much said, we think that what we need is going to be different enough that, it won't be a problem. And I was like, okay, well, promise, And I think that has just proved itself to be the case. Everything that I am building, I guess when I build different things, I learn different ways to do those things, but I don't know. I just, I want to get more time back. As long as I stay with Trey, Mina, and Dawson, I'm all right. If we look at the financial side of things, Trey, Mina, and Dawson, Mina with 19 hours a week. Hold on. Mina at 19 hours a week, Dawson with 14, but it fluctuates per pay period. And then Trey at 10 hours a week. That's a total of $47.60, which I actually thought it was more, so that's kind of a bummer. I thought it was a lot more. Must have miscalculated. That's a bummer. That is wrong. That is wrong, dude. That's not correct at all. Where did I get these fucking numbers from, dude? Okay, so that is wrong. So from Mina, so I wouldn't get, what did I just say? $47.60. It would be $53.60 take home. Now I gotta pay taxes and all that shit myself, but. Oh wait, is that with taxes? No, it's not. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where I put these numbers. Well, anyway, gross income per month is $53.60. So I think because there's two, it would be. I think what would that be? Why am I having a hard time with this? I don't know. It's fine. Doesn't matter. So yeah, $53.60 is the amount gross income per month. And with what I would be paying in bills, it would be, what would this be? 1,700. It'd be around 3,600-ish. Reason why, I remember I was talking about how I could get it down to 2,800. Reason why it's more is because I now pay higher insurance. My car payment is $300 more, and I didn't pay off that loan entirely. So that right there would have been $700 difference. So from 36 take me down to 29. So I think I'm miscalculated somewhere, but that is why. But if I am spending in bills alone $3,600, and I feel like that's actually pretty generous. There's a lot of things that are marked pretty high, and a lot of this stuff is going to be cut closer in half. But anyway, so gross income, that's a $2,000 per month profit, which is it's great for me. I need to figure out insurance. Truthfully, I'm just not concerned about that. Like, I don't think that I have, I don't know. I don't even want to get into that. I did go to the dentist a couple weeks ago, and they said that if I don't have insurance, that I can buy one of these programs. It's like, I don't know, it's like $120 a year, and I only have to pay for the fillings or the crowns or whatever if I need them. But $120 a year. A year. And I said, "Oh, this is sick." She's like, "Yeah, it's only if you don't have insurance." And I'm like, "So it's almost better to not have insurance then." And they said, they laughed at, they laughed and gave me that side smirk of like, "Hey, we can't actually say that, but like, you're dead. You're right on." And it just kind of goes right in line with my whole stance with fucking insurance, dude. I get it. It's a great thing. But like, what about for us healthy people? Like, how about reward us for the people who take care of ourselves? Like, dude, how about car insurance companies for every month after like a year that I go without any kind of ticket or insurance or, accident or whatever, pay my ass, bro. If I fuck up, then yeah, I'll pay you how about, let's make a whole new thing. Every time you get a ticket or you get into every time you get a ticket, you got to pay insurance for the next, 3 months. After that, you don't pay shit. If you get into an accident, you got to pay insurance for the next 6 months or whatever. After that, you don't pay shit. Because you know what that means? If nobody gets into an accident and nobody needs insurance, then nobody needs insurance because nobody's getting into an accident. It's a big circle, I get it. But think about it, dude. The fuck are we doing paying all these goddamn insurance agencies so much money when in the last 10 years, not a goddamn thing has happened to me, and yet I've paid like almost 20 grand in the fuck, bro? It's literally the law. You have to have insurance or you can't drive. Like, you can drive, it's just against the law. The fuck, bro? Oh my hell. Shit like that, If I'm a good driver, why should I have to pay? Dude, my math teacher in high school told me this, and I've just never, this is kind of what sparked the whole thing. He said that when you pay insurance, you're making a bet with them that you will get into an accident. Because you're saying, hey, I'm going to give you $130 this month because I think that I'm going to get into an accident, and I know that it's going to be more than $130, so I'm willing to make the bet so that you pay more and I pay less. So I'm willing to make you a bet for $130 this month that I get into an accident that is worth more than $130. That's the bet that we're making. What a stupid bet, dude. Why would I bet that I will get into an accident for the sake of saving? Dude, holy shit. Oh, man. I don't even care about the rest. That's enough reasoning for me or enough analogy and logical, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, for me to just, yeah, I'm good. If there was some way that I didn't have to pay insurance and just pay, I don't know. This is when when I started feeling insecure. But like, how about I just get so wealthy that I don't need insurance, because if anything happens, I just pay for it out of pocket, move the fuck on with my day. How about that? Meet me outside, how about that? Remember that shit? Anyway, what else is there? Oh, that was the other frustrating thing I didn't mention that I was going to say in the first 5 minutes of the show. When I got started working on my project, I didn't know where I left off, and I didn't know what I was working on. Like, I knew what I was doing. Like, I knew what I was working on. I knew what I was doing, what I was working on. I knew where I left off. But how to get back into what I was doing, I had no idea. I didn't know how things were linked together. I forgot how certain processes work. I forgot, what things still haven't been fixed. And it just makes for one ginormous pain in the ass with getting started again. And it just sucks. That's just what happens when you bounce back and forth between multiple projects from multiple coaches. yes, I'm learning a lot, and this is all beneficial. Everything that I am doing is going to help me tremendously, 100%. There's no question about it. But god damn it, dude, it is so frustrating because I'm sitting there and it's like it's so hard for me to even focus. It's like any chance that I get to stand up and walk around, to go downstairs and look out the window, or to go get a drink, or I'll take it. It's like, oh yeah, you know what, I am pretty thirsty. Let's go downstairs and get a drink. Matter of fact, let's drive to Smith's in Salt Lake from here, which for context it's like 30 minutes away, to go get a drink. It's probably, maybe they got a new flavor, and it's just because I don't want to do the thing that I'm trying to do. Not that I don't want to do it, or that I don't have a desire to create this system and build on it, but it's like it requires so much brain power to just get started again, and it's so hard to just, it's easy. It's so hard to want to get into it, because I just start beating myself up about it, because I'm like, dude, I want to get this done, but it's, it's right in front of me. I have all the time right now to work. I have the next 4 hours to work on this. I don't know where to start. I'm wasting time. What the fuck? Oh no, this is why I'm not going to make it. This is what, and that's like, it just starts spiraling. So whatever, dude. Yeah, I think I'm done with the show. I don't think there's anything else I want to say. So that is everything that I got. Again, no idea how this is an hour, almost, but whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.